All right, well, I decided to come out here and check this hive because it's pretty full. I'm excited to say that I've checked this whole hive up to here, and every one of these frames except two is loaded with brood. I'm talking wall to wall, nothing but brood. All that tan stuff that you see is capped over baby bees. I don't know if you can see down in here, all those little white larvas. Those are little baby bees forming in the cell. I don't know if I can get you any egg pictures here or not, but the more I looked at this hive, I really wanted to share it with you. This is my hive that I'm going to do here's a little bee with some pollen on its legs. Can you see it down there? I'm trying to find it, sorry. It's up top. Yellow on its legs, right there in the middle. Yellow on its legs. This hive is the one that I'm going to do my queen rearing from. And I'm going to be looking at the weather here this week because I've got to get some queens going. I've got lots of drones. They're dark looking, which means they're reaching maturity level. The drones started a couple weeks ago. I started seeing quite a bit of drone in here, and we are only today is the 12th. Here's a drone for you versus this is a drone. These are worker bees. Do you see the difference? See how dark their butt is? It's kind of bullet shaped. Here's another drone over here. There was quite a few on this frame. I don't know if there's any eggs in this one. I'm going to see if I can find any eggs for you. I don't see any. Oh my gosh, guys, here's our queen. I didn't even see her here as I was looking at drones. Our queen is right... Oh my gosh, where'd she go? I turned it upside down. Where'd she go? Do you see her? Because I've now lost her. Where'd you go? Here she is. Right here. There is our queen bee. She is the culprit of this giant hive I've got here. This hive is very full. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pretty mature drones on this frame, and that's just one frame in this hive. This hive is running out of space. I may have to go back to the house and get another box. I'm gonna have to pull a few of these frames out and give them some more space because this girl, she is running out. Now, granted, I have another box to look at below, but they are not drawing this wax out on these frames very well. This is just foundation. It is not drawn out yet at all. This here is a foundation that's not drawn out yet. So I may have to get them a few more drawn outs so that they can keep that queen happy. At this point, they're not keeping her happy because she's running out of space. I only see a few cups, queen cups, which means they're thinking that they might want to swarm sometime. But there's no queen cells. There's no eggs in the queen cups that I've found so far anyways. So that's a good thing. Bees, when they get to this point in this time of year, if they're too full and they feel like they're running out of space, they will swarm. Half of them with the old queen or the current queen that's in here will leave the hive and they will go find a new home. And for the beekeeper, you don't really want that. You don't want your bees flying away on you. You want to make them happy and give them space so that they stick around. All right, here's one that has a little bit of drawn out on it. You can see what they're doing here. I'll show you. I normally don't work hives at 6:30 at night. Bees kind of get a little feisty later in the afternoon and evening because all the forager bees are all back. So they're getting a little perturbed, but that is what is to be expected. Okay, do you see over here where this is kind of flat? This is just the foundation, but over here it looks maybe a little different to you. I don't know if you can see that any better this way. They're drawing this out. So they're starting to draw this frame out, which is great. So I'm gonna put this one over closer to the hive or the cluster. Then I'm going to put this one farther back so that they can keep working that. We're gonna get down to the bottom box here and see what's happening. I'm gonna pause this video real quick. Okay, I'm gonna bring you back now. All right, so I took the other box off. Now we're down to the bottom box, which you can see they are just as full of bees. So I think, I don't normally add 3 deeps to a box, but since I'm at the point where I know I'm gonna go ahead and make another hive with this box, but I don't have my queens going yet. I think what I'm gonna try and do maybe is put our queen on the bottom, move this box to the top, and we're gonna kind of do a demarré split, which is kind of faking the bees out of doing a split on their own. It makes them feel like you have split them, because if you take a lot of the brood up top to the top of the hive, put some put some supers in between. See, these guys are all drawn out here. They're drawing that out. Put some supers in between them. It kind of fakes out the queen's pheromone that they feel like they've swarmed. And the queen thinks she swarms because you put her in the bottom box with just a handful of frames along with all drawn outs. And that way then she feels that they've swarmed. She then goes into overdrive and really kicks up the laying, which this girl, she kicks up the laying anymore, we are in trouble. Okay, this here, I'm not finding any brood in, so that's good. These guys have all hatched, because this was brood. On, I think it was March 27th, I think I was in here. This is just bee bread. I'm gonna turn this around. You'll be able to see a beautiful pattern of bee bread here when I get my arm out of the way. Can you see that in there with the sun? There's all kinds of colors of bee bread in there, which is super cool to see. It's that yellowy, orange, green. You can kind of see several different colors. That's all what they feed to the babies in their larva state in the hive. So when I showed you those little white things a little bit ago, that is what they feed them. That is their protein and their carbohydrates. The bees go out to the trees. They go out and get it off of flowers and trees and bushes, anything that's flowering, and they bring it back to the hive. They mix it with saliva and honey, and they make it, it's basically pickled so it doesn't ferment. That's all brood. So do you see the difference here? I'm going to show you something kind of cool. This here, this raised up brood is drone brood. Can you see that? You kind of moved here. Let me move my camera over. Okay, so this here in the bottom corner is drone brood. This down here, it's kind of raised up. Kind of see it up like that. This in the center, whoa, my whole comb is moving on me. In the center is worker bee brood. And as you can see, there's still quite a bit of that in here as well. All right, let's see what we got on these ones. Our bees are getting a little grumpy. Let's get some smoke. Hopefully my smoker didn't die on me. Nope, we still got smoke. Started using wood pellets and don't laugh at me, and to-go container or to-go carriers for your cups, you know, like when you get them at McDonald's or wherever you get your fast food from. And then just like some packing tape or packing paper from like Amazon or wherever, Walmart, wherever you get your packages from. And it is working very well. Stays lit and seems to be working good. So here we've got brood pollen. Just trying to find some eggs, but the sun is not at my... The sun is not at where it needs to be. I am going to put our queen back down into here because I am pretty sure these are empty down here. I really need to get a look. These are empty. So I need to grab that queen and I got to get her back down in here, because if she's up in that top box and she thinks she's out of room, that's where we're going to get in trouble. So I might be able to save this by just moving that queen back down here. I want to look through a couple more here and see what these ones look like, but I've got 3 frames with a lot of space on it that I've had bees hatch out of here recently. So I think that might be able to give us enough time to get us through to where I'm gonna need some eggs. Well, not really eggs. 3-day-old eggs that are just hatching out. That's all brood. It's all brood here too. You can see there where it's open. That's where the egg, that's like a double. So like this here is where other bees have hatched out and these ones are still working on it. So it's kind of like a full circle life here. So these ones are all emptying out now. The queen will come back through and she'll lay in there. Then these ones will hatch out and the cycle will continue. That's how gives it room, gives it space, and the queen has lots of room then. Right now in the spring, a good laying queen can lay up to 2,000 eggs in a 24-hour period, which is totally crazy. Yeah, that's empty. So I need to grab our queen. I need to get her back down here because that's going to be our saving grace here. So give me a minute. I'm going to pause you because I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to find her. I knew where she was a few minutes ago. And I will bring you back as soon as I find her and plop her on the frame.